Hi everyone, welcome back to the Casual Watch Review channel. So in this week's episode, I'm going to be reviewing another Uncle Seiko strap. Now you guys have seen me review Uncle Seiko straps on the channel before. I just recently uploaded one on this brand new Omega Speedmaster Beads of Rice bracelet that Larry at Uncle Seiko's just created. Well, he sent me another strap in for review, and this time I had to borrow a watch for it because I didn't have this particular model of Seiko in my collection. So a big thanks to Todd who lent me this vintage Seiko chronograph in. If you're interested in all things to do with vintage Seiko chronographs, Todd and I did a podcast where we talked all about Seiko chronograph watches, what's cool about them, the fact that they were only produced for 10 years, and also what are the most valuable ones and some future classics. And this is one that he did mention as a future classic. So this is the Seiko Kakume, it was affectionately called. And that in Japanese, I believe, is square eyes, which we can see from the kind of square subdials here, where it kind of gets that name. Let's just zoom the camera in a bit. So here we are zoomed in so we can get a look at this great watch. So this is the Seiko Kakume. Model number was 6138-0030. And it featured, well, there was two movements really that we used in this watch. It was released in 1970. The first iteration had a 21 jewel 6138A movement. And then later iterations had the 23 jewel 6138B movement in them. This is a true Seiko in-house movement, even down to, I'm learning, the lubrication oils they had specially made for this watch as well. Now this, as you can see, is, for a vintage watch, is very large. It's 43mm wide, 44mm from lug to lug, and then 14mm thick to house that in-house chronograph movement. It's a really cool watch with a lot of wrist presence. Now, this is, as Todd mentioned on that podcast, is a future classic. They come in two variants. They come in this champagne dial, as it was affectionately known, and also a very striking blue dial. This one, as you can see, has been well loved. It's using Seiko's proprietary Hardlex crystal, and this one has definitely seen a lot of wear. The crystal here is quite heavily scratched. The tachymeter's still very sharp. Why are we talking about this great Seiko chronograph today? Well, Larry from Uncle Seiko has recreated a brand new strap for this watch. This Kakume watch was widely regarded at the time as having the best aftermarket Seiko bracelet. I've mentioned it on the channel before, Seiko metal bracelets are nothing really to write home about. Even as you move up the chain, the metal bracelets aren't that fantastic, with exception of course, the Grand Seiko metal bracelets are just absolutely fantastic, certainly the ones I've seen. But this Kakume was at the time considered to have a great aftermarket bracelet. And what Larry's done is he's recreated this strap and upgraded it. So on the clasp here, we have a very similar friction clasp, except on here, as we can see, we've got Uncle Seiko Sport on the bracelet. So if you've got one of these Kakume models, or you are interested in getting one, but you've seen a few with some very badly damaged bracelets, and they did deteriorate over time, the original bracelets. In fact, the ones that have the original bracelets that are in good condition are very expensive. Probably in excess of $1,000 when I've been doing my research, but you can get these without the bracelets for a lot cheaper. So you buy one of these bracelets from Larry for, I'm guessing they're going to retail for around the $80 mark, $80 to $90 mark, and have a perfectly brand new bracelet with all of the links that you need to adjust it, whereas you might not get all the original links with vintage strap. One of the great things about this is the Kakume has an 18mm lug width, and then it has this cutout where, if you see, the Uncle Seiko straps kind of perfectly fits in there. So with that 18mm lug width, if you did put it on a NATO, obviously you're going to have to find the a smaller NATO, whereas this bracelet has that taper here. All brand new, no flex in it, very comfortable strap. There's quite a few kind of points of articulation in here as well, certainly as you get to the end. And the other thing about the end, even though these links are larger at the top, when you get towards the end of the bracelet, as it tapers down here, you'll see that the links are a lot smaller. You can take off quite a few. I took off quite a few to get it to the right wrist size for me. So I think he's overall done a fantastic job of this. So just a real quick review here. If you've got one of these Kakume models, or you're interested in buying one but maybe there's an issue with the bracelet, then Larry's just again made a fantastic aftermarket bracelet. Very light. I'm loving this Uncle Seiko Sport that he's put on here. There's also 5 parts of, or 6 I should say, micro adjustment on here as well. So I'll leave the link to Larry's website down below. He did kindly send me this strap in for review, but he hasn't asked for, been given, or been offered any input in this review, you know, positive, negative, or otherwise. This strap will be going back to Todd, who kindly lent me this chronograph watch in. So a big thanks to Todd for that. As always, guys, quick review here. Appreciate you watching. If you want to contact me directly, please contact me on any of these social media links. The link to the podcast will be down below in the description. As always, I appreciate watching, and I'll see you next time on the Casual Watch Review channel. Thanks, guys. Bye.